Alright, so I got another new deadlift video for you guys today, going over my routine a little bit and kind of how I like to work on it. Today was decided to be a heavy day. I was like, fuck it, you know what? I want to pull 500 pounds, so that's what I decided to do. I want to pull 500 pounds. I want to make sure I still have it. And I always feel like I might lose it, so I have to kind of prove to myself that I can still do it, and I can kind of basically pull 500 pounds off the ground without any hesitation or any worry at all. So before I kind of start the video, I just want to go over kind of how I warm up. I usually start with like 135 pounds, do 10, 185, do 5, 225, do 3, 275, do 2 or 3, then do 315, do 2 or 3. That's kind of how I work up to it, and then that takes me maybe about 5, maybe 6 minutes. I really take my time, just really getting my muscles warm, and then what I do is I go into what I'm going to show you now. So let's take a look at what we got here, starting first with, hold on, sorry. I want to make sure that, okay, so starting first with 335 pounds. And you can see how I actually pull this up pretty quickly. My hips are moving right where they need to be. Here we go with 405 pounds. And this feels pretty strong. It looks pretty good, but my problem is that when I'm doing this, it was early in the morning, so I didn't feel as warm as I'd like. But if it was gonna take me this long, I was never gonna get to it. So 475. Here you go. And I have to say, I was quite happy with this. I got that good hamstring like stretch reflex with that nice tightening. And this was done beltless, 475 for a triple. So I wanted to work myself up to a heavy triple. And because that felt pretty good, I wanted to try to do it with a little bit heavier weight. I think if I did 500 pounds, I could have got a triple. But here, I only went for a double. This is 515 pounds. And the reason why I went for only 2 was because after that second rep, I just felt like I wasn't explosive enough. Basically, that the previous set wore me out too much. But the one thing I did do here is I held the bar for 20 seconds, and I did this to improve my grip strength. I wanted to keep working on other areas of my body, my upper back, really learning how to tighten up my core, and just use more muscle groups while holding it. I mean, I see, what's the guy that, George Lehman do this. He'll just hold the bar until he can't hold it anymore, which is kind of cool. And I figure I need to work on that to make sure my grip stays where it needs to be as I go higher and higher in weight. Okay, so now I take 20% off, and I do 425 pounds for 6. And this feels actually really good. You know, I always feel like my left side overworks, and with this weight, because I'm coming down doing a drop set, you really can't tell. But the one thing I do know that I missed out on my previous sets was making sure that my shins make contact with the bar before pulling. Now, this is not for everybody, but for most people learning in the beginning, it's a good coaching cue. And I didn't learn this until this weight here when I dropped another 20% off doing 355 pounds for max reps, end up getting 7. And you can see how I lose grip because it slips out of my hands. So I just can't hold the bar tight enough, so I go back to mixed grip. I thought I would have enough energy for regular grip, but I didn't. And I was kind of surprised how this bar kind of floated up. I don't even have to do that, extra tension that I normally get. But because I don't have to do that tension, I don't have to time it. And my timing doesn't have to be as kind of precise or targeted. So what I do is I'm just pressing my shins against the bar, and it's almost to a certain degree I'm kind of like slamming or really pressing firmly my shins against the bar. And what that allows me to do is really get the bar where it needs to be, and make sure it stays straight. The thing is that 355 pounds obviously is a lot different than doing 500 pounds, because what happens is the bar begins to flex and timing changes quite a bit. So I'm just trying to work that groove. I feel like between with the bar that I'm using, this is a Rogue barbell, the Rogue barbell. Rogue Fitness. If you somewhere around just before 400, around the 400 mark, the bar flexes about the same. And then when you get like over 475 or 500, at least with my experience, what I've noticed is that the bar changes enough to a point where my timing needs to change just a little bit. because at the 300-pound mark or the low 300s, I find I can just pull and not worry about it. Whereas because there's a slight lag in the pull, meaning that I pull the bar begins to bend, the weights are still kind of dragging behind the bending of the bar. I know that is, I don't know, it depends on how much you're into deadlifting or how much you're into this thing, but these are just some small nuances that I kind of think about when I try to improve my technique and make sure that I pull without any risk of hurting myself, because I'm fairly sensitive to kind of what my limits are without hurting. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned something from this video, or you like watching my videos, please click like to support my channel, subscribe to support my channel, and share this video with someone if you think it will help them get better at their lifting. I started off a little over a year ago, barely being able to hold 300 pounds. Now I'm deadlifting well over 500. So it feels really good. Again, thanks for watching.